What's up, everyone? All right, so here we are Wednesday morning, and well, it's actually afternoon. I just finished trading at 1:30, and I'm up just under $22,000, which is a great day. My last trade there was on Newegg, and I got a little momentum on it, and I had to make the decision right now to just call it a day and walk away. I'm feeling a little frustrated. I really didn't trade my very best today. I don't know. I just didn't feel super dialed in. We had some weird price action. And so some days are like that, and it's the way it goes, but I'll live to trade another day. I got green, I'm gonna stay green and just kind of let today be what it was. And honestly, yesterday wasn't great either, so maybe I'm in a little funk, but hopefully tomorrow's a little bit better, then we can finish off this week, Thursday, Friday, with a couple more good trades. So thanks for tuning in for the recap. Hit that thumbs up, and as a reminder, in case you didn't already know, day trading's risky. My results are not typical. I've been trading for a long time. If you are thinking about learning how to trade, you should assume that you'll lose money. And with that assumption in mind, you know what you should do? Trade in a simulator before you put real money on the line. That way you can prove whether or not you even know how to make money. All right, so trade in that sim, and I'll see you guys first thing tomorrow morning. Okay, everyone, so I'm gonna do my recap. This is my main account. I'm up $21,667. I just had a trade on Newegg, which was a good one. I had a couple trades on it. I bought, we had this pullback right here that I bought off of 56.50. My stop was 56.50, and we got this nice move right here up to 64. Now it's pulled back. I tried to double bottom long that dip. I didn't get filled, but some nice action, although sadly, I'm still red on the name, and it's because this morning I sized up with a 6,000 share position for this squeeze through 38 right here, and I bought high. I did 1,500 share increments, but I kept adding, and then it flushed, and at 35.50, I stopped out. I stopped out at 35.51, 1 penny above the low of support. And that was a panic exit. It was absolutely a panic exit. It was not a good exit. I hit the bid. I panicked because all of a sudden I was down 2 points and I was like, oh God, this is not good. And so there was my exit at 35.51, 6,000 shares. If I could have those back right now, I'd be up $120,000. Well, that's trading. Easy come, easy go, and you never know what's going to come next. So, I took the loss. I ate the loss. It was the right decision. You can't just, you have to. So I ate the loss, and I moved on. And it squeezed back up here to 38, and I was like, I can't stop out and get right back in at the same price I was just in at, because I've done that before, and that's when you start to get yourself crazy. What gets you even crazier is when you stop out here and you flip short, and then you get squeezed out short. Then you flip long, and then you get stopped out long. Then you flip short, and you get stopped out short. Then you flip long, you make some back. Then you flip short, and then you get squeezed like that. So I have to be really careful about flip-flopping. I don't like to flip-flop, number one. And number two, if I get stopped out, I try just to think a little bit more carefully about getting back in. And so I ended up feeling like I was like, the spreads on this are so big. Right now, you've got 86 by 15. You've got spreads straddling half dollars and whole dollars. It's not respecting half dollars and whole dollars in a really significant way. So you've just got these big spreads, and if you jump in right here, all of a sudden, whoa, I thought I was in at 57. I'm in 30 cents higher. It just flashes, and this speaks to the fact that this is a 2-point-something million share float stock priced at $60 a share. Usually, when you have lower float stocks that are higher priced, they get pretty big spreads, and they can give you some nice big moves. And this is having the best day, I don't know, probably ever. This is incredible, and so I'm happy for Newegg. I like the company. I do. A lot of people that are tech gamers love Newegg. This is a great company. It's awesome to see that the stock is rallying. And how cool would it be if, this would be so fitting for this to be like to catch the attention of the Wall Street bets people. Because like, Newegg, GameStop, I mean, they're both like kind of, well, Newegg is where you buy the computers. GameStop doesn't sell computers as far as I know. I mean, I'm not an expert on the company, but if you like gaming and you need a computer, well, go to Newegg. Maybe Newegg and GameStop should, I don't know, do something together. But I don't think that this has any relation to Wall Street bets. Initially, I thought maybe it did, but there's just this headline about offers on-demand assembly of custom PCs, which honestly, as a headline, is kind of like, haven't companies already been doing that for a long time? But I don't know. Maybe I'm just, I don't know. So seemed kind of funny that it's up that much, but I guess the market is what it is. So it was strong yesterday, it was strong the day before, and today has just been incredible. And honestly, I am wondering and thinking that it may have an attempt at breaking through the highs. And so that's why I'm still sitting here at 1 o'clock, and I just traded it and made 5,000 on it, because I thought, boy, if it breaks through, that $60.60 level, and then we break through the low here of 62.55, next stop is high of day. Now, I don't know. Maybe I'm just forever the optimist on trading and how much a stock could go up. Maybe none of that happens and it just fades from here. But maybe, just maybe, today's the day. So who knows? I don't know if I'm going to keep trading it, though. I mean, I kind of sat down here to do my recap, which I guess is kind of what I do when I'm done with the day. So I'm up 21,000. I was up 22, but lost 500 on one trade, the last trade on Newegg. I already did my small account recap. I was up 274 there. That recap is separate. And at that time, I was up like 15 or 16,000 in this account. And at that time, down 11,000 on Newegg. So yeah, it's just a challenge with the spreads for me. The big spreads, and the fact that I got a little gun shy after losing 2 points and being down 12, 10, 11,000 in a heartbeat. This was a nice 1 minute micro pullback, but there was a 3-point stop. 3 points. But it worked, and it went into halts, and it was awesome, and I missed it. And then it halted down, and then it, faded a bit, and then all of a sudden back up. So that one's probably the most exciting one today, and I just got kind of, I just had the luck of the draw. I just had a trade on it that I guess was like one of its only false breakouts, and it, I don't know, made me a little gun shy. So when I was red on that, I had already taken my trade on DTST, which was, we had some action on this at the bell, red to green, but also pre-market. And I had traded VRPX, I think, once. And then we had BON. BON was on my watch list yesterday. It was on my watch yesterday, and I think I mentioned during the QA session or something, I was watching it as it squeezed from 950 up to 11. It then dipped back to 10, then back up to 12. And I was really tempted to go long for the break of 12, and I was just like, you know what? I think the spreads are too big. And that was the right move. It hit a high of 12, and the low there of that candle was 11.20. So it had big spreads. But it was on my watch list yesterday. Why? Daily chart. Recent IPO breakout. So someone was asking me about recent IPO breakouts and what this whole idea is. So one of the first ones that I remember trading was IMTE. And this was in 2018. It's just the first one that I really remember. I'm sure there were some before that, but this was a stock that, and I don't know if it was exactly an IPO. This looks more like a shell company or something that got bought and then got maybe uplisted to the NASDAQ. I don't know exactly how it all happened. But anyways, on this day, it goes from $2.50 to $40. And from that point forward, anytime I saw a stock that I'm like, oh, its all-time high is, 10. If it breaks 10, what's the resistance? There's no resistance. I mean, it could potentially make a really big move, potentially. And we've had a number of these recent IPO setups. And sometimes they go right from the IPO. They IPO and they don't even really pull back. They just go crazy, like WNW. Of course, sometimes they IPO and they tank. So, but Well, trading's risky, obviously. Some go up, some go down. But in any case, bond, recent IPO, it started to show some momentum yesterday. On the initial IPO day, it was volatile. It was up like 100% and then came back down. And so today, I was like, I think it's worth watching, but it's not even on the gap scanner. So I don't know. I probably won't. I don't know. I'm not really sure. So I was sort of like, I said I like it, but I said it probably needs to break like 12, yesterday's high. So when I'm setting up my my trading platform each day, I have my level 2 on a couple different stocks. So I had Newegg, I had DTST, we ended up having VRPX, and I had bond up there because I was watching it yesterday. And so someone in the chat room mentioned bond is looking interesting. And I pulled it up and I was like, yeah, it's at 1150. That's interesting, but the volume's kind of light. I don't know. We'll see. And I kind of look away, I look at some other stocks. I think that was when it was here at like 1129. And then it comes up here to 1150, and I started to see just a little bit of green on the tape. And I was like, you know what? I don't know, man. If this thing breaks 1150, it's probably going to go to 12. If it breaks 12, then we're on the recent IPO setup. So, you know, I was like, this is light volume. It makes me a little nervous. Spreads can be bigger, but the setup, the recent IPO, I'm going to take a stab. Let's just see what happens. And I took a stab with my order at 12, and I filled at an average of 1185. I wanted to be in at 1150, and I got 35 cents of slippage because it just started squeezing. And then it hit 1230 and it was halted. And I was like, well, I'm in at 1185. I'm in a little high. So I took some of my position off the table at 1230. I was like, you know what? 1185 to 1230, that's a base hit. I'll take a little off the table. Then it's halted and it's showing like a $15 resumption. And I was like, for real? Are you kidding me? I should have held. But, you know, I took a little off the table, and I think it was like three quarters of my position or half my position. Took it off the table. It's halted now up, which is great. Halted up, broke through the previous day's high, and then it opened at $16. It dipped, and I bought the dip, and then it squeezed up to a high of 1760, going up to the next halt level. It did a false halt, and it dipped, and it halted going down. I then added right at the halt going down, which was at like 1470, 1480. I was like, technically that's the volume weighted average price. And it then opened at 1584. And I thought it was going to open high. Well, once I saw it was opening high, I thought it was going to break through 1643, because what we know is when stocks halt down and then open high, usually that's a really bullish indicator. So I added back right here and then lost, I think it was $6,000, $5,000 as it dropped back down to the low. And then it ripped back up to 16 after I got out. And I was like, God dang it. I'm just, and that's when I started to feel like I just don't have a good read on things today. I'm starting to get a little frustrated. You know, it halts down, I add, and okay, that's fine. It's a good dip trade off the VWAP. It's risky, but I was up. Then it opens high, and I add for the breakthrough 16. Then it goes right down into a false halt down. I stop out. Then it rips back up, halts going up, and then it fades. VXRT. This is the one that pushed me to the edge today. So VXRT, I'm up $49 on it. Miraculous. So it squeezes up here. Not VXRT. VRPX. VRPX is the one. So this is the one that drove me to the edge. So, you know, it was moving up and it was on the scanners, and I was like, okay, I see it. It's interesting, but I don't know. It breaks 6, squeezes up to 625, dips down, then it rips up and it halts. False halt. 656. It then drops. I bought the dip at 6 thinking, okay, false halt, buying the dip, let's look for a retest. It flushes down to 577. I take the loss. Then a few minutes later, it rips up and halts 644, and now it's showing a resumption at 797. And I was like, wow, someone must be getting squeezed out or something on the short side. It's going to gap up over $1 a share. And that's kind of surprising because it's not, as in my opinion, the same setup as Bond. It's technically a recent IPO, but it's on a big red candle. 824 was the high. 723 was clearly this double top or this resistance level. And then additionally, I would think people would want to be shorting against 656 because it's a false breakout there. And so the fact that it gapped through that resistance and then opened at 732, it then dips down, and I bought it at 656, or right around there, 660. And I bought, I think it was 12,000 shares. Into a halt going down. I'm long. It halts going down. I thought it was going to false halt, but it halts going down. And then on resumption, it's showing $1. And I was ready to jump out the window. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. How is it possible that this is showing $1 on the resumption? It's just halted down at 656. A $1 resumption? This thing's low of day is 450. And it had a tremendous amount of volume. This doesn't make sense. Unless there's some kind of news or someone out there has pressed the sell order during the halt to sell, like, I don't know, some crazy amount of shares, like 10 million shares. So it's halted, and then it shows a $2 resumption, and then a $3 resumption, and then a $4 resumption, and then a $5 resumption, and then a $6 resumption, and then a $6.56 resumption. And so it ended up opening flat at about 660. It then flushed down to 605, and I added on the dip another 12,000 shares. Now I'm in with 24,000 shares, 25,000. And as it started to curl back up, I put out my hotkey for profit. I was like, you know what? This trade is not going well. I am feeling frustrated. I'm not sure what's going on. Let's put out an order just to take some profit. So I had my 25-cent profit target order. As it turned out, that order had me getting out basically break even. So on 25,000 shares, I was down $12,000 and ended up getting out break even, which was an average of, because I think I averaged down, even though it hit 605, I think my average was, it might have been in the 30s. It wasn't super, super low, maybe even in the 40s. It wasn't super low. So then it rips up to 711, and then it halts going up at 726. And I'm already out. And I looked and I saw I was up $49.49. I had just been long 25,000 shares of this, and it's up almost $1 a share. And somehow I managed to get out break even and not a winner. It then squeezes up to 782. And then just from there, goes a little higher up to 850, halts up again, and then starts the descent. Halt down and then break a VWAP, and it's been going lower. So that combined with Newegg eventually, doing this huge kind of parabolic squeeze. Ultimately, this was parabolic here from $45 up to $71. But then it halted going down in one 1-minute candle. This went from 71 to 62, halted down, and was showing a $42 resumption. It ended up opening at 54, dipping to 53, a low of 53, and then a high of 57 before pulling back a bit, and then kind of basing out, and that's where it gave me, a trade as it started to curl back up here for the retest of 60. As we sit right now, we're in a bit of a more extended pullback. I'd focus more on the 5-minute time frame. It's kind of at that ascending support level, but the thing is, a bit of an issue are some of these topping tails. So this could be an area to buy a dip, but the spreads are just really tricky. And at this point, I'm kind of frustrated, to be honest. I just feel like I didn't trade super well today, and I didn't have a very good read on Newegg, and I screwed up my first trade on it, and then I got timid and didn't get back in on this nice 5-minute setup that was right here. And I made back a little bit. And then VPRX or VRPX had the potential to almost ruin my day. And honestly, so did Bond, buying the halt going down. And, that had the potential to really screw up my day. And I was pretty aggressive when I added, thinking it was going to break over 1643. I was like, this looks good. So I stepped up to the plate on this and then lost $6,000 there. And so I just kind of felt frustrated. And yesterday, for what it's worth, in my big account, this is my main account, I did trade OSAT, and I made 14,000 on it. And then I gave back about half and finished up 8,000 in it yesterday. And I traded this yesterday afternoon in my small account as well. And I made money in my small account, but I was looking for a bigger move. And so these last couple days, I just feel like, I don't know, yesterday I gave back half my profits. Today I was up, I think $5,000 or something like that, and then lost 11,000 in one trade on Newegg and went to down minus $5 or $6 grand. And I don't know, I just feel kind of like a little off my game in a way. And I don't think it's really me. I'm kind of taken back a little bit by like the halts on VXRT or whatever this one is. Sorry, VRPX. These halts were just really kind of weird. The halts on Bond were weird. It was a really long halt. Even the halts on Newegg were a little weird. One of them was a halt going up, and then it was showing a $2 gap down on resumption, but then it moved higher. I don't know. I don't really know. Maybe it's just the ebb and the flow of the market, and maybe it's just a little bit of a kind of, I don't know, just a little bit of a pullback that I'm kind of having here. But the problem is when I start to feel this way, I start to lose a little confidence, and then that makes me hesitate. And then so let's say this, what I was just saying looks interesting off that moving average. So now what do you do? Well, this thing has just went up $7 a share. What do I get in up here? I'd be chasing it. So then that hesitation leads to missing trades. And then you overcompensate by, okay, let's say I buy the dip right here for the breakthrough 62. So let's just pretend that I did that. I buy the break right here for 62. So if I was in right here, there's 62.20. On the ask, what's the bid? 61.43, 61.22, just like that. See, that's the problem with these big spreads. You were up 20 cents on the ask, and the bid falls. And now you're 61. And then you get a panic flush, and now you're $60. And that ends up being your classic false breakout right there. And so that's frustrating. I mean, I didn't take the trade, but it's frustrating even kind of just to see, because what I would have done there would have resulted in another loss. And I might end up having the right idea. This thing may break through 64.50. And if it does, I would think it would go right to 71.14. That would be so logical. I think that's what traders would all be setting as their target, a squeeze back to the high. And if it breaks through that level, 75. But then maybe I'm wrong, because I thought when it broke through right here, 62.55, that it was going to go more than 64, and it just kind of stalled out. So, this is where, and I see 63.70 daily resistance, then 73, and then 74.30, then 75, then a nice window from 76 up to 81. All-time highs on Newegg are, I think, 107, but that's from like a long, long time ago, but it's still what it is. It's back in 2010. So yeah, and it breaks 75 and then goes straight to 100, and then I'm going to look at it, at 4 o'clock and be like, are you for real? How did I manage to be red on this stock? It's up 125%. And if it ends up, gapping up tomorrow for continuation, but the spreads will still probably be what they are today. And no doubt, this one is not a small account type of stock. This is a stock that's high risk. It would not be suitable for the small account. So the small account, I did well today. The big account, I got green. I'm going to stay green and not overstay my welcome, because I know on Newegg I could jump back in this and I could end up losing 10 grand just like that. I could give back half my day in a heartbeat. Yeah, I could make another 10 grand, but what's better right now? Making another 10 grand and being up 30, so let's just kind of play it out. If I make another 10 grand and I'm up 30, how do I feel? Probably feel pretty good. That's a pretty solid day. Of course, it's 1:30 in the afternoon, so I probably would be thinking, why was I trading this late in the day? That's kind of weird. But if I lose 10 grand here at 1:30, how am I going to feel? I'm going to feel pretty livid. I'm going to feel pretty upset. Because the problem is I'm going to know that I was overstaying my welcome, trading too late in the day, a high price stock with big spreads, and that the likelihood was higher that I would lose than win. And so why not just walk away $500 off my high and live to trade another day? And I think for confidence and for kind of that just self-esteem, that right now is actually worth more than the potential $10,000 might, move my account from 21 to 31. So I think that's sometimes a hard decision to make in the moment, but I think it's the right decision today. So with that, it's 1:30. I'm going to shut this down and I will not look at it again until tomorrow. I'm shutting everything down and I'm going to save this, and that's it for me. All right, thanks guys for tuning in. For those who are going to watch the recap on YouTube and Facebook, as a reminder, in case you didn't already know, trading is risky. Today, easy come, easy go. There was a lot of opportunity for some big losses. I'm lucky that I kept my head above water because I could have easily gone deep in the red today. So that's today. Another day in the books, and we'll be back at it tomorrow. And the goal for Thursday and Friday will be to have 2 more days just like today in the small account. 1 trade, hopefully 1 winner, but 1 trade. 1 trade that I feel really confident in. 1 trade a day. That's the small account way. All right, I'll see you guys in the morning. I hope you really enjoyed that video, and make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Our goal is to hit 1 million subscribers this year, but we won't get there without your help. So please, please, please hit that subscribe button.